I invite you to kneel. Sit if this is too much strain on your knees. Feel gravity. Focus on your heart and begin to breathe in rhythm with your heart. Inhale up. Exhale to heart center. Deepen and slow the pace of your breathing. Shift to your crown. Inhale up and focus on your crown as you bring your hands back down to Namaste. Tune the crown chakra as you inhale again. Exhale down slowly. Shifting your attention to your throat. Several breaths here. Relaxing the throat and empowering between the head and the heart. Sacral. Breathe in the circle around your hips and lower back and pelvis. Long waves. Nose tip around the cheeks and the base of the back of the skull. Focus. Solar plexus. Inhale between the short ribs and empower your will. Diamond die. Embrace subtlety and bring it into your body's awareness. Lungs. Lift your breath and relax the shoulders. Open the chest. Root. Connect with the earth and draw strength in. Chin. Open your mouth and relax heat. Navel. Empower yourself. Build fire. And then shift to the third eye. Open your awareness, focus, and prepare for the practice as you embrace child's pose and recenter in your heart. Separate your knees, touch the big toes, and create space in the abdomen. Breathe and relax into the ground. This practice will involve numerous poses held for roughly half a minute. I invite you to use this time to tune in with how your body teaches you to feel. Allow your breath to guide adjustments to take you deeper in each pose, and allow the focus that you gain to translate into a deeper practice as you progress. Press down on the top of the feet. Inhale into a gentle camel pose. Thumbs around the waist. Arch. Press down through the top of the feet to the knee. Tuck the tail. Rotate your legs in to allow the arch to extend. Back down to child's pose. Inhale, up to camel. Half camel, lifting one arm. Allow the shoulders to separate. Exhale back down to child's. Inhale up, half camel on the other side. Breathe into the open chest. Exhale, down to child's pose yet again. Inhale, up to a deeper camel, if you can, reaching back to your heels. Rotate those thighs in to allow the lower back to open more deeply. Open the shoulders as you inhale. Gaze up as you gently lean back. Center sensations in the thighs with the backs of the legs. Allow the breath to show you how to stay. Exhale, back down to child's pose. Inhale into a lunge, gentle lunge, hands down. Exhale, back down and then up to the other side. Inhale, stand up. Rotate for reverse warrior. Extend the length of your stance so you feel both legs equally. Open your chest as you allow the shoulders to separate. Rotate that back leg out to ground the rear heel. Exhale, arms down, shift as you inhale, other side, reverse warrior. Feel balance between both legs. Ground the heel. Allow the shoulders to separate even more as you reach up and down at the same time. Feel the legs united in your core. Allow the breath to show you how to stay. Exhale, inhale, shift for warrior one. Move back and forth a couple times before choosing to stay. You're square to the front of the mat, and then you're inhaling and gazing up at your hands together over your head. Balance your hips and draw them closer to each other so your legs work together. Ground the back heel and sink into the front leg as you exhale and turn to the other side. Set your foundation, inhale your arms up, gaze upwards. Feel your weight balanced between both legs. allow the back leg to be strong and work towards straightening it by activating above the knee. Sink into the front leg, and then go down onto all fours for rabbit pose. Ground the intensity you've created from the standing poses as you inhale into your back to accentuate the arch. Rest your crown into the ground. Feel from your crown all the way to your knees, braced by the feet. And then exhale one arm under, threading and opening to each side, other side. Just a couple breaths on each side. Then return to rabbit pose and explore jackrabbit. If you know you're ready, choose a headstand. You're shifting your chest over your head. Breathe and allow your breath to draw lines from your crown into your chest, through the neck. Center any sensations through your face, head, neck, and shoulders. So draw awareness back down as you bring your knees back to the floor and rest in rabbit pose. Widen your arms, your hands, down to a low cobra. Rotate the legs in as you arch in the upper body, pressing down from the elbows to the wrists and then the fingertips. Use those wrists to help keep grounded. Draw the arms slightly back to help you arch up. Breathe and allow your breath to release tension into the ground. Then rise up into plank pose and choose a side plank, stacking the feet or keeping them separate if you need the balance. Move back and forth, side to side. Inhale up, exhale down, and come back for a dolphin pose. Elbows, shoulders width apart, but now lift your knees up and straighten the legs. Wrap your shoulders and squeeze together. If you so choose, explore scorpion pose, using the assistance of the wall if you need it. Lift up in dolphin or scorpion through the shoulders, lengthening from the elbows to the chest. Then exhale your way back down and do a high lunge. So your knees off the ground, but support it with your hands on the ground. And then inhale, raise your head, and extend your neck and throat. Press back through the rear heel to extend the line from shoulders through the heel. Sink and shift more of your weight to the front foot. Walk your way around to the other side. Lengthen from your shoulders to your heel. Open your breath. Sink a little lower with the weight on the front foot. Your hands are simply supporting you. And then walk your way to center, round to the other side, back, just opening those legs and hips back and forth a couple times. And then do a side plank yet again, this time staying a little longer. Stack the feet. Shift to the other side. Exhale down, inhale up. You can support with your feet apart if you need it. Then step one leg forward. Rise. Shift your foundation to the other side. Shifting back and forth really opens those hips. And then inhale as you square to the front of the mat and lift your arms to make a straight line from your heel through your hands, fists together. This sinks your weight into the front leg, so counter that by grounding the back heel. If you so choose, reach behind your back to open those shoulders and then return to the raised arms, extending the chest. Keep those hips square to the front, working together. Once again, you can squeeze the hips a little together to create strength. Shift to the other side. Lift those arms. Perhaps reach behind your back to open the shoulders. And leave your arms there or raise them, your choice. This helps you learn to ground that front leg in these standing poses. And then reach that rear heel back. We're learning to open the hips so the legs work better together. Exhale your way down to the ground and then roll onto your back. Hug your legs, knees to chest, and then lower them to one side in a gentle twist. You're twisting towards one side and putting that hand on the top of the stacked knees. Then inhale up, exhale down to the other side. Take a couple breaths, open through the lower back. Center sensations in this twist. Before turning onto your back, raised knees, feet flat, grounding, reclined pose. Open your hands to the side. Breathe the lower back into the floor. Feel the feet, hips distance apart, toes spread. Open through the shoulders as you reach your arms behind your head. Now you can either do bridge pose here or wheel. If you do wheel, raise to your head and then lift up. Broad fingers, rotate those thighs in to help create the arch in the lower back. Let your breath be strong through your nose. Bellows breath helps channel the intensity And simply stay up and allow each inhale to show you how to hold this pose. Exhale your way down. Inhale up into a bridge if you did the wheel. Exhale down, inhale up, a couple bridge poses, and then hold the bridge again if that's what you did already. And then hug the knees, give yourself a twist to one side. Open that lower back. Center between the lower side of your body and the upper. Then inhale, up, cross to the other side, down. Typically the sensation is much stronger in one side of the body than the other. So bring awareness into the side that you don't feel and use it to support the intensity you do feel. Inhale back to reclined pose. Feet flat, knees lifted. Breathe as you extend your feet out to corpse pose. Really release some of the intensity of the first part of this practice. Let your spirit catch up as your body has nothing to do. So your feet open gently to the side. Feel where intensity is ready to activate your muscles, and breathe into this space and let your body know there's nothing you need to do right now. Let your breath show you the way. Now inhale up and kick up into a supported shoulder stand. You can go back down and come back up again to get yourself a little higher on the shoulders. And either stay in the easy shoulder stand with the knees bent over your head, or explore bringing the legs over your body in a plow pose. Now, if you're not open enough yet, just stay in the easy shoulder stand. Use bellows breath to open your chest and abdomen and neck. You can bring your hands down or have them under your hips. And then inhale your way up into a shoulder stand. You might have to tuck those shoulders under a bit more. Get yourself higher onto the shoulders. And breathe into your upper chest and throat. If you so choose, roll your way back down through a plow. And then come up into wide stance. Take a couple breaths. Turn towards the side. Twisted warrior. So just reach across your body or put one hand down on the ground. And then if you so choose, you put an opposite elbow above the knee and twist in prayer pose. Ground that back heel. Come out of the pose and return into it if you feel out of balance. And let your breath open tense spaces. Inhale up. Come through prayer pose centered to the other side. Again, you can put opposite arm down on the floor or twist across your body in prayer pose with the elbow planted above the knee. Twisted warriors enable you to keep strength through both legs at the same time. Concentrate on that rear strong straight leg. Keep life in it with your breath. Sense through the tensions that pinch your body, particularly through the hips and abdomen. Before inhaling up, coming into a ragdoll pose, just letting go of tensions. Give yourself some twists, alternate nostril breathing, covering one nostril with the thumb as you twist across the body. Inhale up, switch sides, exhale as you twist. Inhale up, switch sides, exhale as you twist. Lift that upper arm if you so choose. Then come back to a wide-legged stance. Turn towards the side stretch. Do one side, then shift to the other to just remind those hips how to open. Gently rest the lower arm above the knee and the inner thigh. You're not really putting weight here. You're just gaining leverage. And then you're grounding from the long leg through the fingertips. Relatively straight line. You may have to concentrate to ground the outer back of the heel. Then breathe as you exhale back down. Shift to the other side. Rotate that straight leg a little out through the hip. Then feel a long line from the heel to the fingertips. Let your breath show you how to make subtle adjustments to hold this pose coherently with your whole body. Gently gazing up without straining the neck. Exhale, center, come down on the mat. Back to the ground, hug the knees towards the chest. Draw that abdomen in even more, and then draw one ankle above the opposite leg's knee. Other side, just take a breath on each side, opening the hips, threading your arms through, drawing your legs together towards your body, and then returning, both legs hugged in towards your chest. Breathe into stillness, holding this resting pose, letting your breath show you how to release unnecessary tensions. Breathe through the upper chest as you inhale up into a boat pose. Now you can support yourself from the elbows. You can support yourself by grabbing the back of your thighs. Or you can extend the legs out as you rest your head back. Breathe. You're just breathing. You're breathing into the solar plexus and allowing your breath to keep you focused. Exhale, come further up. Open your legs to a wide-legged forward bend over one leg. Inhale up, exhale down, other leg. Just go side to side a couple times. You're finding the easy, natural version of this exercise. Inhale up, exhale down, and then stay. A little longer, full breath. Then stay. On the other side, full breath. Keep the opposite leg active. And stay even longer. Keep breathing on one side, several breaths. For walking your way to center in a forward bend, wide-legged forward bend. Draw the abdomen in, rotate the feet slightly back. Keep the chest up as you breathe the belly and lower abdomen down. Making space in the lower abdomen helps the hips let go. Activate as you raise back up and come to a wide-legged forward bend. First over one leg, then the other. So you rotate back and forth, squaring your legs forward on the mat. And then stay on one side. Go back and forth a couple times and then choose to stay. Ground that back heel. The hips are square forward. The legs are relatively straight. Go back and forth again if you don't feel ready to stay. And begin to breathe that lower abdomen down. It's a theme. We do it in many positions. Now, if you so choose, you can extend this to find the deepest forward bend you can go for in a side split. No matter how low you get, you can support yourself with your hands, bring the knee down. You can keep that back foot grounded, alive, as the intensity tends to move towards the front leg. And wherever you are in the exercise, inhale your way to center. Breathe and rotate to the other side. So you're doing a forward bend over one leg, pyramid pose as some call it, or you're sinking even deeper into a side split. Your version of a supported side split. It can be advantageous if you're doing the split to stay up on the balls of the feet to keep that rear leg active, which can take some of the intensity out of the hips and help you go deeper. Find your natural edge and then breathe. Use Billow's breath and the intensity, matching the vibrancy of the pose and the challenge of it with your breath. Before coming back down to staff pose, legs straight out in front of you. Inhale your way up, hands overhead, exhale down into an easy forward bend. So you're just not focusing on depth. You're just relaxing, releasing. You can hold your ankles or your feet, but be gentle with it. So your awareness is on melting that lower abdomen towards the thighs. Keep the chest and head a little bit up so you're not overarching. Then walk your way back up to staff pose. Ground the palms and then lift up in a couple folding tables. So you're pressing down through the palms all the way up through the shoulders so you can get that butt back down to the ground and then even behind your hands before eventually staying up in table pose. You may have to walk your feet a bit further away from the shoulders. Rotate the upper arms and shoulders out to let the chest lift a bit higher. And then just release your head back, allowing it to hang. Let your breath open the shoulders before exhaling your way back down. And then standing wide-legged, warrior two. So you inhale your hands straight up over your head and then bring them down flat and level to the ground. If you so choose, you can add an archer pose with the bent leg arm up and the opposite arm down and back. You're just reaching to meet your hands. If you can't, grab your fingers. But then you're resting your head to create some gentleness that translates into melting through the shoulders. Rest your head against that upper arm. Ground the back heel. Before shifting to the other side, fingertips together, down, up, flat, parallel, and then choose archer pose if it's right for you. You're welcome to stay in warrior 2. Get that foundation to be more intense than the archer. So sink into it. Extend the stance if you need to. Focus on the elements in the grounding feet as a way of creating space to open through the shoulders. Let your breath show you the way to open through any tensions that trap your attention. Return to center. Come out of the intensity. Breathe. Wave your body around. Feel that foundation. Give yourself another warrior 2. Ease the transition out. Several breaths. Other side. Sense the openness you've created for yourself. Center in a wide stance. Couple breaths. Down into goddess pose. Find the right placement of your feet by keeping the toes alive. Invigorate up and down goddess squats until you find a goddess you'll hold. Keep those thighs rotated out. Sense the center between the thighs and the quads. Use the root lock breath and sink a little deeper. Grip the floor with your feet wide, alive, toes. And breathe. Hold a tree pose. Then turn to one side, sink down in a low lunge. Knee to the ground. Rest. Ground yourself. Come up with the knee lifted if you so choose. And breathe. Feeling balance between the back foot and the front. Squeeze the hips together before coming down, grounding, turning through to the other side. Stay in a low lunge. You lift your arms out of the foundation and then you raise your knee if all of these elements work. Activate that front foot and make sure the legs are working together. Sense the unity between the legs, squeezing the hips in as you come back down onto the ground. Legs straight out, then rotate them out and bring them in a butterfly pose. Rest. Ground those sit bones into the floor. Lift the lower abdomen and part the legs a little bit more. Tuck the tail gently. Release the pose. And either a simple seated position or hero pose. Twist into the upper leg. Give yourself some breaths. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Spin to the other side, all the way around in the hero pose to the opposite stacking of the knees. you can simply rotate them. Continue the twist all the way towards the upper thigh. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Ground the opposite thigh. Release, return to butterfly. And if you so choose, lift up to allow your upper body to sink into the hips, bracing with the hands in front of you. Draw the abdomen in. Keep the chest slightly lifted. Allow the breath to release. Simple seated position. Gather yourself. Then all fours. Cow pose. You can give yourself some cat, cow rotations. Iron out the spine. Knees below hips, palms below shoulders. Stay in cow. Allow your spirit to catch up from all these intensities. Breathe through whatever tensions draw your attention. Turn the toes under, walk your way out, come down on the belly. Bow pose. Reach back, grab your ankles, and stay here for a bit. Lift the upper chest and feel the tension between your legs and your arms. What is holding you back? Is it in the shoulders? In the hips? Can you find more extension? And perhaps gently come a little higher before releasing the pose, coming to stand in a wide leg standing position. And explore reverse triangle. So you're going back and forth, reaching opposite arm down to the foot or even slightly past it. But you're feeling into your foundation, keeping that back leg grounded, back heel bearing weight. And after doing this a couple times, choose to stay. Allow the hips to separate and slowly raise the upper arm to the point before it distracts from your foundation. Let your breath open and then inhale you back up. Feel the shift. Other side. Keep that front leg straight. Back foot and leg rooted. Reach across the body, opposite arm to the foot or just past it. And breathe the upper arm up. Create space in the abdomen. Keep that front leg strong as you inhale your way back up, yet again, feeling the shift. Center, knuckles to the ground, 8 pose. Breathe. Release. Reach for the sky, down to the ground. Straighten the legs, wide-legged forward bend. Perhaps wrap the arms across the biceps. Hang, and then lift up into star pose. Explore some triangles. Stay right away if you're ready. Keep that back hip and thigh rotated out. Gently gaze at the upper arm. Sense your weight carried by the foundation of the legs. You could inhale your way up. Feel the shift. Center. Other side. Root the back foot down into triangle and put your attention at where the legs meet in your core, ensuring they work together. The gaze is the last element. So you're turning to see your upper hand, provided the foundation stays strong. Open that lower, upper side. Inhale your way up. Come down on all fours, back into down dog. Walk the heels out. Find your distance, exploring this powerful, grounded position. Then wrap those shoulders, reaching through from the navel all the way through the shoulders, through alive hands. And either stay here or explore some handstands. Kick your way up, just explore kicking, feeling your balance. Then perhaps come down to rest. Focus a little bit longer. Or hold the handstand against the wall or in the middle of the room. Let your spirit catch up when anything is too frantic or challenging. The spirit wants this to work. Use strong hands in the level 2 or level 3 poses. You may well be tired after this practice, so it will change your relationship to a handstand or any other challenging pose. Be easy on yourself and give the support you need, including the wall, even if you don't always need that. If you're doing a handstand, you may choose to roll back your mat or move to the side to have your fingers on the floor. In this one, I need to move through the shoulders a little bit more, lifting from the navel through the hands. Keep your drishti strong in the handstand, whether against the wall or in the open floor, focused on one point. And come back down when you're ready, consciously integrating the intensity of being upside down, and come to a low squat. Focus on the ground in front of you, the drishti. Bring the intensity of this practice into a center as we prepare to let it go. Be up on the balls of the feet or even on your knees if this is what you need. Gradually stand, finding a wide-legged position, centering yourself, and opening to high squats, high side squats, inhaling in big circles down through prayer pose, sinking to each side. Be sure to ground that outer leg either up on the ball of the foot with the toes in the air or foot flat. Side to side a couple times, and then come back down in low. First a squat and then low side squats, supporting yourself, hands on the ground, opening from the hip. This time lifting that upper foot if you weren't before and turning it out. Inhale, shift to the other side. Before coming to center and exploring a crow pose. So you're going to squeeze those arms together, focus your drishti. Inhale into the navel. Gently point those toes. Come down when you're ready. Once again, you may be below your capacity, depending on how tired you are. Let that be fine. And then consider, do you need to give yourself anything? Are you tweaking? Is there any area of your body that needs extra attention to just iron it out? Add this to your practice. Before finding Savasana, corpse pose. This is time to let go. Your spirit, driven by your mind, is still active. Feel it buzzing. Tuck your tail, releasing the lower back into the ground. Allow your legs to separate a little beyond hips distance. Feet gently falling out. Perhaps tuck your shoulder blades under a bit more, allowing them to open. Arms rotating out, palms open and up. And now choose to let go of effort. No more adjustments, even if the intensity seems to ask for it. Use your breath now. Find a rhythm of breathing that helps you release the inner effort. As your mind stops asking your body and your spirit to move, the spirit will settle where it is, like a bird landing on a tree. Feel this dissipation of vibrational effort. This is a sacred time. If you pass through it too quickly, you run the risk of yanking yourself back into your more habitual rhythms. The work you've done will not set in. By breathing through the remaining tensions and inviting your spirit to tune in with this relaxation, you become the depth that you earned through your practice. By breathing as the bridge between spirit and body, you maintain this deepening rhythm. Take your time coming out of this state. Contemplate what matters for the rest of your day, all the way until you sleep.